Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of.
Because you don't know football. Tariq, how you doing, brother?
Listen, look who I found, y'all.
I
You know,
know.
I had to go to Vegas and go grab Tim, bring his ass back on over here.
I wasn't sure if I was going to make it back, to be honest with you.
we, we were wondering, we're taking polls here on the episode, man. Is Timmy
What a
still?
wild time.
But he's
Got,
safe
got a
and he's
lot
down.
different type of experience though this time. Usually, last time I was in Vegas had to be over 10 years ago. Went a lot wilder than I did this time. I think I was in bed by 10 p.m. every night. That jet lag really got me coming from the East Coast.
Tim over here doing globe trotting, and we just over here, just us normal American hard workers, just going to work, coming back. But it's all good. Good to see you back, bro. All right, cool. So now we're flipping it back, everybody, to how the normal format is. Tim, we switched up the format a little bit last week. We had to do an episode, and it was starring me. The most episode we ever had. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But in my head, it was. So boom. So yeah. So this week, because at the end of the episode last week, I told you on Monday we're gonna do it again on Friday. And now we're gonna get in. So we're gonna jump straight to week 8 because, well, I already did week 7.
Yeah, let's get right into the games, right? So I mean, I know we had a couple games we wanted to talk about, but I think we'd be remiss to miss not talk about Thursday night's game last night.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, 27-22, Ravens pull it off. I feel like I just don't know where the Bucks are at. Like, they can't figure it out. I was sitting here watching the game last night. They come down to, they need what, 11 points. They score with what, a minute or so left a little less than a minute left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They, tight end drops the ball in the end zone for the 2-point conversion, which could have had. They get a penalty, get that holding penalty that gets another run play. And then what the hell was that play? That shotgun little draw didn't block anyone off the corners. Like, I mean, I've been out of football for a while, but I don't know what the hell they were thinking. What happened to your 260-pound Leonard Fournette? Run that man over the center. Let him run someone over. Am I wrong for this?
No, you're not. You're not wrong, and I don't quite get it. I don't quite understand the Bucks, and not only that, but like what you call it, the defensive end. He tore his Achilles, and he's done for the year. Barrett, he's done for the year now.
Yeah, that one's tough. The wild part though is Bucks are not in the best of divisions. I mean, I think you got Atlanta and Carolina going this week. I think someone's going to be leading that division at like 4-4. Like, you might actually get into the playoffs there at what, 9-8 8-9. Like,
maybe yeah, I was about to say maybe less than that, but like, yeah, but this is definitely putting a hinder because I picked the Bucks to win the whole Super Bowl. You remember? I'm like, I don't know what this is, man. All right, so one time where I'm like, oh yeah, Tom Brady's definitely going to win the Super Bowl because Colts fan, and now he's gonna be average, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something's going on there. I mean, the Ravens look good. 27.
Lamar looked good. Lamar looked good.
Lamar looks like Lamar. He's I know he had a couple down weeks recently, but Lamar's Lamar. We never count him out.
You know what though? The Ravens right now, they're really finding ways to win, and
that's scary.
So he has had some down weeks, and they still were winning. So
yeah, exactly.
I like that in terms of teams. So yeah, so
no, I really do. I just look at this. I look at this wide receiving crew for Tampa Bay: Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and then they have Leonard Fournette in there running the ball, and it's like, what's good? What's
just? I remember earlier. I was like, something's off.
Julio Jones is on the team. I mean, Scotty Miller over there. He's not.
Is he even still on that team? Good grief! Like, I didn't even ever heard his name out 2 years. Yeah, man. Something is weird with the chemistry there. Maybe Giselle is just like, listen.
That's official. It's official. Did you see it today?
What?
Divorce is finalized.
That's sad, man.
At least, yeah, no, I would, not a laughing matter. Definitely a personal family thing for them going
I
on.
wasn't gonna laugh till you said that part.
No, I know, but I mean, come on, like, hey, it was fine. He came out of retirement and he made a decision. Football was it. Football's life. So, hey, who knows
Football
what's
is
going to
life.
That's
Football
fine.
is life. Football is life, and you gotta if you're gonna marry a football player, understand football is life. All right. So boom. So that's that. So sorry, Bucks. We'll be hearing more from you in weeks coming. So yeah, boom, week 8. It's a I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not like there's not a lot of good games this week.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. It's crazy. We got 3 games: Cowboys, Bears, the Eagles, Steelers, and the Bills, Packers that are double-digit point spreads, 10 or 11, double-digit. Like there's team's going to blow one team's going to blow the others out, and then you have every other game 4 points or less, and they're not even like teams we want to see playing each other, but they're playing each other, and they're all supposed to be tight games. So we might be in store for some great, tight, contestable football games this weekend, but they might just be completely sloppy and unwatchable as well. But
I mean, but so just going down the list, first game because we only talk about the good ones, so I ain't talking about
only ones that interest us, right?
Yeah. So the first one that we saw, what did we say?
The Patriots, Jets.
Patriots, Jets. Now, if you would have said at the beginning of the year that this would be like a game that's like, oh, you got to catch this, I think we both would say like that's like nonsense. That's not what it is. But the Patriots rebounding, with 3 straight wins. I don't know, but it seems like they have a quarterback problem or dilemma or controversy. They don't know who they want to start.
Zappy, how about it? How about for that man? Yeah, I agree. Did they announce who they're starting this week? Was it
It's Mac Jones.
Mac Jones? Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like what type of leash are you on, right? That he threw a pretty bad pick, definitely was, and then just got sat, done. Game over for him last week. Put Zappy in, and now they're sitting Zappy and putting like that's got. I mean, I'm sure Bill Belichick's handling it as Bill Belichick will, but that's got to mess with your mental psyche there and how to come out and play. You don't even know if you're going to be ready. You don't even know if you're going to be playing or not. So it's like challenging to get ready. So I guess we're professionals and you need to be ready at any time.
Yeah, but we come from the era where you got 2 quarterbacks, you actually have 0 quarterbacks. So you got to watch that. So I don't know, but either way, who you got in this one? Talk to me.
Well, this is the interesting. I mean, I'm I don't know. I honestly, I think this will be an interesting one for me. Specifically, I think I'm going with the Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going with the Jets at home. Here's why. They're 5-2. They're their coach has them marching to the beat of his drum. They look like no Jets team that you and I have seen in like our entire life,
like ever. Like who's this?
The interesting piece will be so we talked about the Jets draft earlier this year before the season, and they have 3 of probably the top 10 best rookies in the league right now. You got Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and then unfortunately their running back Breece Hall, who is now in the injured reserve. So we'll see how that affects them. See if they,
But they also just got Robinson from Jacksonville.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. They just picked up James Robinson, who was definitely playing well in Jacksonville. I mean, he was giving ETN pushing him out of that position, even though ETN was supposed to take it over. So I am going with the Jets. Definitely going with the Jets. I don't have my notebook, so I hope you're writing this down. But what do you got here?
Okay, not a problem. That's fine. I can get this. I'm a professional.
I have notebooks, just not our notebook.
All right. So, in pretty short, I'm also going to agree. It's in New York. The Jets, listen, here's the crazy thing. This game is for like 3rd and 4th place in the division. And like the AFC East is probably going to have 3 teams in the playoffs now. Like The
Yeah.
Jets are 5-2. They're probably going to the playoffs.
It's
So like now the AFC East is now all of a sudden it's like it's a beast. Remember how back in the day they used to say that the NFC East was the NFC Beast. Now
yeah.
it's the AFC Beast.
Go.
So so yeah, I'm going with the Jets. I think until proven wrong, like they're legit like that.
You're this. I mean, we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. There's a few teams, both in New York, where we're just like, all right, when are we gonna say the tide turns and the other shoe drops? But it hasn't yet. And I agree. I think I'll ride this train with the Jets. I mean, the Patriots. We'll see. I mean, I think they can figure out their quarterback situation. Who they just put a stomping on the other week. The Browns is who it was. But then they got handled by the Bears. So who knows where they're at the moment. So all right. So Jets it is. We got a consensus there. If we pick all the same teams, we might have to.
I'm gonna be upset if we could say too.
Because
I can't prove how I can't shine if we both picking the same people.
All right. All right, cool. Let's go. Next game we had on the docket was out west. So San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams, right? That's where we were going. So
yeah, that's fine.
All right. How about it? What do you got about this one?
So, first of all, the 49ers have been a thorn in the Rams as even when they won the Super Bowl, when they were doing everything, like the 49ers have just been a hard win for them. And so I really, honestly, I really feel like San Fran might win, but I'm gonna cop out and I'm gonna go with the Rams because I saw San Fran win the first game. So San Fran won the first game.
Yeah.
And this is not a rematch. And like I said, I don't like it when two teams are good, saying that one team is going to sweep the other, So I actually like the Rams for this one. And this one, not for anything where I'm really feeling great about, just division games are division games. And you can kind of expect that.
The other thing I think you got going for that pick, and I was kind of leaning the same way. To be fair, though, looking at the public or the matchup predictor, they are looking. San Francisco looks favorites, but they're in LA, right? So Los Angeles, the Rams are playing at home. San Francisco just ruled out Deebo Samuel as well.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so that just came down. That was just released a little bit ago, and then, but the interesting part, so we don't have a clean sweep of it picking the same teams, and I know I had the Rams going far in this one, but I'll say that the 49ers win this one and pull it out. What I'll be interested to see if I will see if what's going to be interesting. I want to see if the 49ers can really just start unloading the playbook on Christian McCaffrey, right? So last week he was pretty limited, but he's here for like 2 days. He was there for like 2 days. So I want to see what they implemented for him this week. And I'll also say selfishly, let's go McCaffrey. I need some goddamn fantasy football wins. I'm getting completely hammered in my league, and I could really need him to pick it up and be back to the CMC we knew and loved for a long time in fantasy. I mean, he's going to be in my starting roster forever, as long as he's on the team and not injured, but I need him to start getting those, big points again. So we'll see against this. I mean, again, Super Bowl champs, they're 3-3 right now. Is that what I was looking at? And they haven't looked stellar this year. Like, what's that Super Bowl hangover is what we talk about. So that's kind of where they
see. I think it's more on the side. Remember we were talking and I said, Matthew Stafford is a really good quarterback, but I would never pay him like top of the market. You know what I mean? Because he's not a carrier. He came into a really great situation, but he's not a carrier. Now that he has to carry, I think that has something to do with this too. As much as you want to say Super Bowl hangover, I'm looking at Matthew Stafford and saying, we need you to carry something though,
Yeah, I mean, he's a gunslinger, so he's not afraid.
He's a gunslinger. I'm saying he's not a carrier. And I'm not saying he gets carried, but I just never felt like he was really like a guy that's just going to carry, uplift, put it on his back and let's roll. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, I mean, this is where I say he's a gunslinger. I just pulled up his stats: 6 TDs this year, 8 interceptions. Like he is not afraid to throw it to anywhere. And it was a big knock on him last year as well. But if he can go through stretches of not getting picked off, and we talked about this on a couple of episodes, if he can go through stretches of not getting picked off, he puts that team in a good chance to win. But he does. He throws a lot of picks. He's also been sacked 22 times, so that's not great. But all right, cool. So we'll split that one. 49ers for me, and you got the Los Angeles Rams. We'll see what this defense does to Matt Stafford. Talking about that. That'll be a curious one. All right.
All right, cool. All right. And finally, because we're only taking 3 games this week because it really wasn't a lot of games. But finally,
Cleveland and Cincinnati.
We had the surprise game.
Not even surprised anymore.
It's not. No, I'm still surprised. I'm telling you, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to live in this world yet where this is not a surprise. I'm not prepared to live in that world yet.
3 weeks ago, man, I brought this up. The Giants, the New York Football Giants. We have to start talking about them, and they're 6-1.
And the Seahawks too. You gotta talk about them too. What was that? These teams were bad last year. I'm just like, hey, listen. Let's talk about it. I mean, I can go on all day about why I'm surprised by this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look here. This is pretty wild to me. I mean, so I'm pretty sure DK Metcalf is going to be out for tomorrow's game or Sunday's game. He's questionable now, but I that's going to be, challenging for that offense. And I see Tyler Lockett is also questionable. I'm not sure what his status looks like yet as far as potential playing or not. But I mean, looking here again, I was trying to find the spread on this, but it looks like Seattle's favorite. Seattle is favorite.
Yeah. See, you said Seattle's favorite and started laughing. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The reason I laugh is because there's no love for this Giants team. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was just no love for the Giants team. I forget who they were playing, but it was just no one likes them. I mean, with that said, I'm taking the Giants. I'm going to take them, and the reason why is I mean, they're right now they've been able to control the ball. They've been they've been pretty dominant in the run game. Now they're not scoring a ton, right? They're only scoring 21 points a game or so, but their defense is not giving up any points. They're giving up less than 19 points. And part of that is because they're just keeping people off the field, right? So I think Seattle probably has the more explosive offense if you have to talk about these two teams. I mean,
Absolutely.
To be honest with you, their passing offense is definitely more explosive. Their running offense is not, but their defense isn't as great. But where the defense isn't good for Seattle is more in the passing game. Mm-hmm. So what'll be interesting is if the Giants can run the ball on them, because Seattle's running defense is not too shabby. But if the Giants can run the ball on them, or if they're forcing the Giants to throw the ball, and if Daniel Jones can make those throws, I mean, we haven't had to see him tested too much this year. He's been able to be a good game manager and hand the ball to Saquon or dump it off to him and let Saquon do everything he needed to do. So,
actually, I do like what you said. I think the Giants they're actually built to go somewhere on the road and win, because they do have that defense, they do have that running game, and they have a system of, all right, I think they know they don't have the best quarterback in the world, but they're like, all right, let me just get him into a little rhythm. Let's spread the ball out. Let's make it hard to figure out exactly where he wants to go. And I do agree that they are a little bit more formulated to do this. However, I'm going with the Seahawks in this one.
There we go. All right.
I'm going to see so at 6-1, I think I'm just a firm believer. What goes up must come down. Uh,
Yeah.
I they're not 7-1 good in my eyes, and I think this would be. I think also I do think that Geno Smith is the better quarterback this year. Um, I think he's the better quarterback overall, but this year, like Geno Smith is like a top 5 quarterback right now. Um, so I think they're home. They got the better quarterback. Their defense is also playing very well. Like you said, they got the more explosive offense, and I think at home they should deliver.
Yeah, I just looked up Geno Smith's stats here as well, over 1,700 yards. I'm not entirely sure that stacks up right now, but he only has 3 interceptions. Like,
Geno is balling.
that's pretty good. I mean, again, keeping the ball, with your offense, not turning it over. That's definitely a recipe for success. We'll see. I agree with you on that stance that it is in Seattle. Seattle's always a tough place to play. But I'm looking here. I mean, yeah, look, Seattle put up
What did Geno say when they beat Denver? He said, we ain't writing back, or they wrote you off, and he said, I ain't write back. He still ain't wrote back. Yeah, Gino's balling.
Yeah, no, I think, all right. So yeah, that's cool. Giants. I hate to pick the Giants as a resident Cowboy fan here. I really freaking need them to lose because I need this division to start losing games and the Cowboys to continue winning games. Because
I understand that.
I don't. We are third in the division and we're actually having a reasonably good year. But yeah, so I'll stick with the Giants there, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so we're gonna see. So next week we're gonna have something to talk about.
I won't be mad if they lose, but let's make it happen. So.
All right, cool. Well, let's. Oh, okay. So, all right. So let's do the spread, and then we'll talk about the other thing I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show. We're going to talk about rookies that are standing out, and we're going to talk about that probably a little bit more in depth, but we'll get to that. So, talk to me, Tim, and give me a spread because I think I got a good one. I'm
gonna let you get started if you could do that. That'd be great.
Okay.
You get started. I gotta pull
ready. Listen. All right. So here's my first pick. The Eagles are favored by 10.5 at home against Pittsburgh, and I actually think Pittsburgh's going to win.
You think they're going to win straight up?
I think they're going to win. However, I don't think that they're going to lose by 10.5. So I feel pretty good about that one. I know I'm about to shock the world. Yeah, I think I'm taking Pittsburgh plus 10.5.
Pittsburgh plus 10.5. I like it. Personally, I hope they win outright and go and beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia. I think is going to be really tough for them to do so, but let's rock and roll with it. I'm with you on this one. Let's make it happen. I could use some upset Eagles.
No, it's not that I don't think the Eagles are good or anything. I just think the Eagles. I've seen it. I've seen this from the Eagles. We grew up in South Jersey, so we've seen this. Like the Eagles have looked like world beaters before, and they always end up losing to a team. And it's like, how did you lose to that team?
Yeah,
and I think this is going to be that game.
Yeah. No, that's completely fair. That's great. I personally just hope you are right, completely right, and the Eagles lose the game. But cool. With that said, I'm actually I don't typically do this, but I'm going to bet the Cowboys Chicago Bears game this weekend, but not the spread. I'm going to do the over under. So right now it's sitting at 42.5, and I'm going to take the under in this game. So I think the Cowboys have decided that their recipe for success is similar to the Giants. Keep the ball ground and pound as much as possible. Use Zeke, use Tony Pollard. I know Dak just came back, but I don't think that this is going to be the game where they're going to be like, all right, let's let Dak just let it fly.
Right.
And when you start looking at their games, even with Cooper Rush and with Dak back, they're scoring right around the low 20s on average.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And their defense has been just absolute studs and hasn't given up more than 17 points in the last 5 weeks. When you look at the Bears, same last 5 games, only it looks like 2 of them went over that 42 points, that 43 points. And that was last week against New England. Yes, they put up 33. I don't think they put up 33 against the Cowboys defense. Micah Parsons is just, he was defensive rookie of the year last year because he's
Micah Parsons.
like they're studs. And then they also, put up 22 and led up 29 against Minnesota. But again, defense is just different. And I think if the Cowboys can keep them, keep them off the field, keep the hell's his name? Why am I blanking on this kid's name? Over in
Chicago?
Justin Fields. There you go.
Yeah. I was about to say the quarterback, but yeah.
Yeah. I kept thinking Herbert, but Justin Fields off the field, and I don't think Dak and them are going to put up 45 points. I think this game probably comes in somewhere around like 24-10, 24-14, just right in line with where the Cowboys have been playing all year.
Okay, cool. You got Dallas versus Bears under. All right, cool. So with my next pick, I'm going Cincinnati -3. I actually think they're going to win this game by 10. I think they're rolling now. I think they're legitimate. I think the Browns defense is like bottom third. It's supposed to be really good, and it's like not this year. A clear-cut advantage at quarterback. I think the Browns are more deflated, and I think I'm seeing like a 10-point win. So I'm gonna take Cincinnati -3.
All right, I like it there. I was just looking at this game, and I'm struggling with it right now. I got to go off that one. I was looking at Jacksonville Broncos. Do I really want to go into that dumpster fire and make a bet on it?
Listen, man, you bold, be bold. You know what I'm saying? I like bold. I like bold Timmy. You feel me? So,
and I'm going to go to a game I'd rather watch a bit.
Go back over there.
The other game I was looking at, you would appreciate this, where I was going to land Colts in Washington.
Well, I appreciate that. We only talk about good teams here.
I was going to talk about the Colts. Yeah. So this is where I'm going to end up on my picks, and this one's crazy too. I think here we go. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions +3.5 over the Miami Dolphins.
I like that. I like it. You see what I see with them.
I don't really have a good reason other than they played a lot of close games. The last two, the one in New England, we talked about this when they played New England. I said Bill Belichick has Jared Goff's number, and then they played good defense over in Dallas. I don't know necessarily that the Miami's defense is great, so this could end up being a little bit higher of a scoring game. I mean, Detroit's defense is horrendous, so if this could be a little bit higher of a scoring game, if it ends up being a shootout, I'm not terribly confident that Tua and the Miami Dolphins will, outscore them by a ton. It might be a field goal type game. Plus, I get the hook. I told you I always like the hook. 3.5 is the number.
I understand, brother. All right, cool. I like it, but I do like that pick. All right, cool. That's going to wrap up week 8. Now, I want to talk about something before we close this out. Let's talk, Tim.
Let's do it. Yeah. So where'd you want to go?
Some people in this league, every year there's a new batch of rookies. some of them rookies is like, I was already here in my head, and I don't care how many years you've been here. I want to know what rookies you saying stood
I,
up, stood out. They don't have to be necessarily the best, but
I,
who like let's get into it. Who's really been like, yo, that's impressive what's going on here.
I know. I think I gotta punt it to you to go first, purely based off of I know where you're gonna land with this first one on your defensive side. You talked about him the entire draft, so why don't we just give him the love now?
You know, the Sauce. That's
Oh,
right. Sauce Gardner. You know where I'm going. Yo, that man, listen, he don't care. Like he's not care. Like he's listen. I'm not saying like he's Darrell Revis or Deion Sanders yet, but what I'm saying is, has he not played like the best cornerback in in the NFL this year?
no, he has been. I mean, he's not too far from being just a lockdown right now.
He's played like the best corner, and I'm saying when you look at everybody who's supposed to be up there, I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know a quarterback where you just say legitimately he's absolutely played better than Sauce Gardner, and he's a rookie. And I'm like, this is impressive, and I'm actually really enjoying watching him play football.
Yeah, he's been a stud. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, just the Jets went and they picked up. We said they had a great draft, and they had a great draft, and Sauce is definitely leading that draft class. I mean, he's living up to his name right now, and absolutely, been a powerhouse for the team. So, yeah, it's good to see them definitely helping out in that 5-2 start for the Jets.
So yeah, absolutely. I'm going Sauce, man. That's my guy right there. So all right, so tell me who you got. Who you got?
Yeah, so flipping over to I think this is another just um pretty obvious pick, but flipping over to the offensive side, right? I think you got to go with Chris Olave from the New Orleans Saints. Been an absolute stud. Now look, he's getting his reps. He's getting his reps because Michael Thomas has been out. You know,
He's always out.
yeah, sure, but he's put in a situation. But my man's got 32 catches, 495 yards. He just playing very well and has been a steady been a steady just like piece of that offense. Now the Saints are not great 2-5. You have Andy Dalton has been playing for Jameis when he's been out, so it's not the best situation over there, but he's making the best he can with what he's got going on, and I think he's
Mm-hmm.
playing very well and living up to his rookie season.
Yeah, man, he came out really touted, like highly touted, coming out of Ohio State, and I think there were a lot of people curious about how these Ohio State wide receivers were going to be, just because it was like three of them on the same team. But like, man,
Mm-hmm.
he's really uh, shown that he's the number one option there in the future, number one there in New Orleans for years to come. So, so I like it. I like it.
All right, cool. Who do you got on your second pick there?
So my second pick, who really just impressed me, it's not going to be as sexy, but I look at him when he plays, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like what I see. Dameon Pierce, running back in Houston Texans. Um, when he was at Florida, like they really didn't play him like that much, you know. Um, like not they didn't play him, but like he was splitting time. He didn't look like he was going to be like a number one running back, and when I watch him run, he runs with like speed, power, but also that urgency. Every once in a while, you see somebody come in and they run with urgency. And I'm like, every time I see him touch the ball, it's like urgent. And I'm like, yo, this guy, he's really, really
Yeah.
good, man. And I think I'm very interested to see how his career shapes up, but I wouldn't have expected me to say Dameon Pierce as a rookie that I'm like above everybody. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
a certain conversation.
Yeah, I mean, and again, making the best out of a not great situation over there in Houston too. So cool. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I was just looking here. I was trying to quickly go back through some of these stats because the second person that I'm going to pick is over on those Detroit Lions we've been giving so much love into on the defensive side. Aiden Hutchinson just been absolutely dominant, living number 2 pick out of University of Michigan. My man is 6'7", 265 pounds of pure terror. And I know, he was getting a lot of clout for being the potential number 1 that ended up going to Trayvon Walker. He's having himself a year as well in Jacksonville. But I think that defense over in Detroit doesn't have too many bright spots. But I mean, this guy's at least one of them. I don't know if these are up to date stats, but I was just looking here. It looks like where are they at here? Trying to find his total. So he's got 11 solo tackles, 4.5 sacks. Now I think he had like 3 of them in one game, but so yeah, he's got 17 total tackles, 4.5 sacks. And again, I think he's had 3 of those in one of the game against the Commanders, who haven't been able to stop anyone. But again,
pressures all year though.
Yeah, but you're exactly right. I mean, he's been a force to reckon with on that defensive line. So
he's a problem.
There it is.
So boom, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the rookie watch, and I'm gonna keep watching these rookies because I want to see what they turn into as this season and more seasons come to close. So, guys, first of all, Timmy, we did really good on time. We did good on time. We did this. I didn't know if the time was going to work out, but we
did a whole section, but we still did it.
It's always a little bit of a struggle, for us to fit everything in. But once again, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in to Cuz You Don't Know Football. I'm your boy Tariq.
Tim boy.
We're gonna see y'all next week.
Yeah, we're outie.